Today we're talking about something kind of important in the collecting community because today we're going to talk about FOMO. And for those that are unaware what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. And it can be a really big thing here, and sometimes it can be a problem. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is something that happens in a lot of collector communities. But for the sake of this video, we're going to be talking primarily about the collecting, curating community of movies, of whether they be boutique labels or just a collection that you're curating, and the positives and negatives that there can be. Fear of missing out is when something is limited or perceived to be limited in a way that you feel that you have to get it now. You don't want to be left out as part of the group, or you don't want to be left out in the fact that something in it or the item itself will no longer be around. Sometimes it could be as simple as a limited edition slipcover or slipcover in general. And other times it can be a box set or something that's limited to a number of items. For a lot of people that collect and want to have some nice things on their shelf, that can become a bit of an issue and sometimes will cause you to overpay or spend more than you initially want to. See, sometimes you do miss out, and sometimes you find out after the effect, and that's when the aftermarket comes into play. Places like eBay, where you find people like scalpers and stuff that are trying to charge a exorbitant amount of money for something that shouldn't cost the amount that they're charging it for. They're literally making you pay a large tax for missing out on it in the first place. So in order to not have that not happen again, especially if it's something that you've gone through in the past, when a new or big item comes up, you may initially jump on it. And sometimes that's a good thing because it's something that you really want. And sometimes there is a bit of, did you really need to jump on it right away? So let's talk about the what I consider to be the positive FOMOs, and we'll get into the negatives because that's going to be a longer section. There's one company in particular that stands out for me when it comes to positive FOMO, and that is Severin Films, for putting out collector's editions for me personally that I didn't mind going out and buying right, in my case, right away, that I really wanted. And I felt that the cost and the buy ratio at the time was worth it. And everybody's mileage is going to be a bit different on stuff like this. But the first one that stood out to me was when they did their very first director set, and really did a director set. And that was with this Al Adamson set. Now, they put out different versions of this, but I went out and bought the full-blown, like, super limited, rare collector's edition of this with the posters and the record and the autographs and all that type of stuff. But I really wanted to get this set. I was a massive fan of, like, Al Adamson's work, and I really was fascinated with the documentary that came out a few years back on Adamson, and I wanted to have that. And that was included here with a wide variety of titles. Severin, for me, had been doing this and doing this well. They put out a limited edition Hans Bauer set on folk horror. It was a magnificently curated and well put together folk horror set, and it wasn't something that I wanted to miss out on, but it was something that I felt, yeah, I definitely needed. And the same thing happened when the Laurie Gemser Essential World of Black Manuel set came out. These were ones that I felt were worth it and had a strong positive value to them. Did I fear missing out on those? Yes, I did, but in the most positive way. In that, those were sets that meant a lot to me. Those were things that I wanted, and I knew that there were going to be ones that needed to be in my collection. Not in the bad way of like I felt stressed in having to get them, but in the way that I felt it was a positive and a it was really kind of the type of thing I was hoping for. That thing where you grab something that's so special, that means so much to you, that the FOMO is real in the best and most positive way. Severn did that and did it right. You see, it's a bit of a journey. We all start out as collectors when it comes to physical media, but that's not usually where or how our journey ends. We normally go into curating. It's when you, the best way to put this, I guess, is that we all may still call ourselves collectors, but at the end of the day, what a lot of us end up doing is curating. When you start collecting, you're unsure of what it is that you want. You're excited by the whole experience of it all, of the newness. You're new into this journey. You're finding your way. You're becoming part of a community, and it's great because you're finding yourself accepted by like-minded people, and you're going out and you're probably, like I did, grabbing everything and wanting to get and not miss out on every single release that comes out there. But after a while, that kind of doesn't often be the way that we going forward. We eventually start to see the items start to pile up, and we find out what we like, what we don't like, and what it is that we want to continue to get, whether that be a company, a genre, a type of film, a type of edition, or just the journey that we want to take. Because the journey that we start out with before we realize where we're going is often not the destination that we end up in. And that's where we get into what can be considered the more problematic and the not so great part of FOMO. When FOMO goes, I don't want to say wrong, but when it comes into darker territories, what exactly would you do to get your hands on that sexy release? Hopefully, nothing too nefarious. But it's something to talk about. I find, and everybody collects differently. For me, at this point, as personally, and this is going to be, this is my hot take. The slipcover collecting has become a bit problematic. When there's multiple slipcovers for one release, of which there's only one release, and you can only put one slipcover on that release unless you're going to go out and buy several versions of that one. More than likely, people get into the aspect of just going out and getting stuff because they want all of it. They want to have slipcovers, and slipcovers isn't the only thing. Numbered spines. One of the great things that I noticed in comics more recently, for some of the for certain editions, like a Marvel Epic Collection or a DC's Finest, is that they have gone out of their way not to put numbers on the spines. And because of that, people tend to like it a bit more, collect, but not feel that pressure of having to have all those numbered spines. I've been the guy that started out buying from a company and just trying to get every number in a row because I want that completed, like a spine number or a release that am I going to pay more money for because I want that release with a slipcover. And the thing is, nowadays I see people doing it not just for slipcovers that are limited and that there's different artwork on there, but even for a regular slipcover for release that just has the same artwork as is on the inside. That can become, if taken to the extreme, if anything, if taken to the extreme, can become an issue. And that issue can get a bit more problematic. FOMO can be used to get you to sometimes go for stuff that you may not be able to afford, or to put things on a credit card and think about it later. Lots of people have done that. I have not so much the credit card, but I have at times uh, early on in my collecting bought things that I really couldn't have afforded at the time, and I probably needed the money for something else. You find it really quickly when you're going to buy something else, when you want that extra grocery, or oh God, I guess I got to pay my rent this month. That it's not something that you can continue to do on a regular basis. It's one of those. Okay, I got a bit of mad money this month. I'm gonna buy this. But it gets problematic when you find that you're taking from Peter to pay Paul, and that can be an issue. That's where fear of missing out becomes a very dangerous game to play. I think it's great now that there are so many companies out there that put off so many great sales and just to get people that to be able to buy releases from their company. And when you buy sale releases from a company, you're still getting money towards that company, and more than likely it's going to be a reason for you to go and actually buy a release when it comes out. I do think that some of the limited editions that sell out really quickly, especially if the company lets customers buy two or three or more of them, and even that can't be stopped. The company can't stop that, because what can happen is people can start up dummy accounts and just start buying things so they can scalp them. Scalping is a serious issue within any collecting community, but it's a very serious issue right now within our community. One thing that I can say that you can do to help in curbing that is, I know there may be a release out there that you really, really like, and you want to get that really fancy edition, or that nice cover, or lenticular, or you want that book with it, or you want that big chunky set. Is wait. Wait on it, and don't pay scalper prices. When you do, it just means that you're probably not going to get the next release, because that scalper is going to do the same thing that they did to you last time. They're going to buy it before you get a chance to buy it, and they're going to sell it to you at an exorbitant price. That is an issue. FOMO is an issue because we make it an issue. It's a fear of missing out. It's the idea of not being able to keep up with the Joneses, not being able to grab every release. And the good thing is, we talked about evolution of collecting to curating. And overall, I think that all of us eventually get to that stage of curation where we realize what it is that we want, what it is we can afford, and what it is that it's worth us saving and spending that extra dollar on, that, and realize, okay, this is something that I really want, as opposed to I spent something that I kind of wanted and now I don't have the money to get the thing that I really want that just got announced. But that takes time, and with that comes, like I said, with every collector, it comes the lean month. It comes the time that you miss out on something because you went to grab a little bit of everything. The key to this is look at what you have. If you're just starting collecting, look at what you're watching. Look at what's giving you the most pleasure when you're watching it. That's the key part of this. And it's great to go out, and it's always great to go out and try to blind buy and to like just try different things, different companies, and different like types of films. See if they're ones that you're into. But those are things that I recommend that you do. Like you do it carefully. Uh, choose a company maybe once every couple months or once every 2 or 3 months and say, okay, I want to try a different type of release. I really want to try this type of film. I really want to try this company that I've never tried before, and take a chance. And if it's something that you don't like, then you don't have to go back and do it again. And you don't need to feel like you have to get everything from every company or have to go back and do the annals. You don't have to go and grab every Severin or Scream Factor or Vinegar Syndrome or Radiance title to be a fan of the company. You can be a fan of what you like within that company. And if you like everything in that company, then fantastic. But understand that if you are going all in on a Vinegar Syndrome, which has a wide variety and a wide range and a long list of titles, then that probably for the next little while should be your focus. Don't let yourself get scattered all around to grab things that you really will take away from what's giving you a lot of joy. If Vinegar Syndrome, if TerraVision, if Severin, if Arrow Video, if any of those companies are the ones that you're going to all the time and you just love what their releases, what they curate, maybe focus on that company for a while. You may not grab everything, get everything, or get things from another company, but you get a nice collection of the company that you want. Or maybe you like giallos and you're picking up giallos, and you decide, okay, I really kind of like this genre. So for the next little while, maybe just pick up giallos and don't worry too much about the noise and the flash and the that's out there, because there's lots of stuff that's going to come out that you may get, and it may cost a bit of money that you already know before you get it that it may not totally be for you. And it's okay for there to be a release to come out that's not completely for you. I have the Ingmar Bergman collection from Criterion, and it was an expensive collection. It was a big, beefy collection, and I got it because I like those films. Now, I have a better half, and she loves movies too, but she loves a different type of movies. I can tell you right now that if it wasn't me, then she definitely wouldn't have those in her collection, because she has no interest in Bergman. And no matter the fact it's Criterion, no matter how like highly touted it is as a really cool release and a must-have for a collection, if it's not something that's going to give somebody joy and it's not something that they're really going to like, it's taking a space on a shelf and taking money out of your wallet that maybe, well, even if you can't afford it, why? Because you probably could have gotten something that you really enjoy with that. It's important to let yourself get to that stage to curate, because then you are looking at what you want. You're doing things that are giving you joy. And if you're mega rich and you can go out there and grab everything, all the power to you. If that's the way that you like to do this, there's no wrong way to get your collection of films. There's no wrong way. But there are ways that you can do it that can make it more satisfying for you. And hopefully one of the things that I can do on this channel is help to guide people from making mistakes that I made early on. So there we go. FOMO, it's a real thing, and it can be a problem. It's okay sometimes not to have the slipcover if the release is exactly the same. I'll say that. It's okay if it's not a steelbook. if the release is exactly the same. Sometimes it might be preferable. And if you like slipcovers and steelbooks and that's your thing, that's fantastic. But then don't let yourself get the wandering eye to lose focus on where you want to go in the future. Because if you're a big steelbook collector and you want to get those nice steelbooks, and all of a sudden there's like this release that you're not quite sure about, here's we'll go into Umbrella puts out a lot of big chunky editions, and I love Umbrella stuff. I don't think everything needs a big chunky edition. That's me. But there's people that like collect those and they want to have every one of those. If I had, I'm somebody that I feel like I can at least afford to get some of the stuff. If if I've decided, okay, I want to get all the umbrella, the big umbrella editions, that would be my focus. I wouldn't be looking towards like 7 or 8 other companies and grabbing expensive editions from other companies, because I would know that those umbrella editions were going to cost a lot. If I wanted to pick up one or two of them, everyone like, or you want to pick up the V Vision edition of like Neverending Story, which is it's a pricey one, but if you're a massive fan of Neverending Story, this may be your dream release. Then there are other things that get sacrificed for that, and it's okay. I don't have everything, and that's all right. There's things I missed out on that I wanted, that I'm like, oh damn, I wish I would have got that. But at the end of the day, if I really wanted it, if it was something that I really, really wanted, I'd probably have it. If it was available, I'd probably have it, right? And that's the thing. You'll find out as you go through this journey of collecting what it is that you want, what it is that you kind of just lust after because it looks kind of sexy or it's unique, or you've seen a bunch of YouTubers like unboxing it. I'm a YouTuber, and I'm a movie YouTuber, and I got a bunch of stuff behind me and really nice and all this type of stuff. Don't feel that this is what you got to go for. Don't like look at your favorite like YouTuber and say, okay, I want to do exactly what they're doing. What you want to do is what works best for you. Some of us have over the years gotten releases that we've had to review and stuff like that, and those are things that have come to. So there's other things that you have to take into consideration when it comes to looking here. Now, everything here was bought, but earlier on, like a few years back, I did do work with Umbrella. I did work with Sony. I did a little kind of short stint of a reviewing up for some Kino stuff. So those were releases I was lucky enough that were fairly pricey releases. Some of them were that was sent to me, and every time that happens, because I'll tell you. But that's the thing too. Like a lot of us, if in reality, we would probably be a lot more choosy if certain things weren't being sent our way. And a lot of cases, by the way, guys, when you see somebody that's got a lot of releases, like that's okay. And the thing is, they may not have the choice to like choose, like, okay, I'll take this release or this release. No, a lot of times companies will just send them a bunch of releases, which can be very stressful for the person, for the YouTuber that is showing something or is trying to like comment on a release when they're like being shoved like 20 releases at a time. It is insanely stressful. I cannot even imagine. And I have much respect for the people that do that, because I know how hard that can be, and because I got to see it on a smaller scale, the stress of that. And yeah, you don't have to have this. You have to have what makes you happy. I don't want to rant too much and ramble. So with that being said, yeah, find out your sweet spot and move towards that, because that is what will make you the happiest. That is what will bring you the collection, the curation that gives you the most joy. So after a while, you won't have so much FOMO. You won't worry so much about missing out because you know at the end of the day, you will get exactly what you want. And if something comes and you miss out on it, you probably didn't want it in the first place. My name's Aaron. Thanks for watching. This has been The Call to Cinema, and I'll see you next time. Oh God. Oh, subscription sloth here. Just want to remind you that I know in the summertime especially it can be super warm and lazy. But if you're liking this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to go that step further and join the Patreon, there's a link for that down below. You can super sticker, super chat, or donate. But above all, just lie back and enjoy the video because that's what I'm going to do. That I do little secret bits at the end. Congratulations, you're one of the cool kids to know that. Severin is one of the companies that I think have given me the most pleasure and enjoyment when it comes to a lot of these type of releases. When I mentioned the labs and said I still need to frame and eventually put up the poster with the massive poster with all the autographs with Xander and all the people on it. I absolutely adore this set, and if you ever had a chance to get this one, get it at a good price. For me, it was a dream set because Al Amsa did a lot of different types of films, and that was the cool part about it. It's not just like, okay, he's just made a horror film or he just made an exploitation film, and you'll find like ones where I love my Black Emmanuel set, but I can't watch them all, a bunch of them in a row, because they do tend to, after a while, get a bit samey, and I got to space them. These are very different. Like you can be watching, putting on one disc and watching the female punch, and going on to a western like Five Bloody Graves, or you're watching Dracula versus Frankenstein, Insanity, or the Naughty Stewardesses. Or even Carnival Magic, which is kind of lost, was at the one point children's film. And yes, I even got the T-shirt and everything to go with that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and for those that were looking for the VHS video, that one is coming. I just have to do some work on that one. It's going to be filmed in a different location, which is why that one's taking a little longer to do. And we got the VHS one, the boutique, and collecting in 2025 and beyond videos coming up. And I hope you enjoy those, because I really enjoy doing this type and format of video where I take a little bit more time and I dive into things that hopefully you enjoy as well. So comment that in the comment section down below. Let me know how you collect, if FOMO is something that has affected you now, in the future, you're worried about affecting you, or if it's something that affected you in the past. Yeah, because it can be a lot sometimes. See you later.